Everyone, today we're just looking at a few verses that can maybe help us understand how John thinks. When he was in Jerusalem during the Passover festival, many believed in his name because they saw the signs that he was doing. But Jesus, on his part, would not entrust himself to them because he knew all people and needed no one to testify about anyone, for he himself knew what was in everyone. All makes perfect sense, right? Okay, so for one thing, we want to think about this idea of believing in Jesus' name. That's common language that John will use. And that's more than just like, his name is Jesus, and I believe that. No, the name is about the character, and belief is really about trust. And so this is saying that these are people who would trust in Jesus' character, that he is who he says he is, and that what he says as the way to live is actually trustworthy. And what they see that points them towards that are signs. Now, I think I mentioned this in the introduction, but John always says signs, not miracles. And if your translation says miraculous signs, that's the translator trying to help us out. But it's important for John that they're signs because signs point to something. It's not the thing itself. You don't want to get focused too much on the sign, but what it points to. And John, these are important to him. It seems like there are 7 major signs in his gospel, although there's a lot of disagreement about which they are, because sometimes he numbers them. The water to wine is called the first one, but they're not always that way. And here we see Jesus doing other activities. But again, those signs point to who Jesus truly is. And that's how disciples come to trust in him. And yet, even as they're putting trust in Jesus, in the mysterious way that John talks, Jesus is still kind of unknowable. He doesn't fully entrust himself to them. Right? So Christ is knowable, but he will always know us better than we know ourselves. There's kind of a paradox here where Jesus is so fully human that we can't fully grasp who he is. I think part of what is being said here is that Jesus doesn't need us to prove who he is or to prove that his way of life is best and make arguments about it. We don't even have to fully understand it ourselves. I know I don't. We just have to live it and to trust that it's going to work out. I've said many times that mystery isn't just something you figure out like a puzzle to solve. Mystery is something that can always be known more and more. And John, I think, presents a Jesus that is very much that kind of a mystery. Yes, we will find signs in life that point us to spiritual realities. They are there. We aren't left completely in the dark. But ultimately, we need trust that if we continue in this mystery, we will find life. We will see love.